everyone joining in. Welcome to Parador India. Let me tell you a little about Parador. Parador is a leading international brand for premium quality wooden flooring with a rich German legacy of more than 40 years from the house of HIL, a CK Birla company. Parador offers an eclectic mix of floorings, in engineered wood, vinyl and laminate. Today we are here to continue with our story, which was Start with the Floor, sharing inspiring stories of successful entrepreneurs from the field of architecture and design, knowing them from the very foundation, which is the floor. Introducing myself, I am architect Himani Ahuja. I'm an architect by education, an architectural journalist and a communications specialist by profession. I am also the founding partner of One Digital and Designworks Asia. Let's welcome our guest. Before I add him, let me first tell you a little about him. He is a prominent name in the industry. His name is architect Niroop Kumar Reddy. He is the principal of NA Architect, formerly Niroop Associates. He studied Bachelor's of Architecture from Madras University. He started his firm almost 2 decades ago, which was in 2002, with his designer wife in India, and then expanded to various countries like Dubai and Myanmar. He's known for evolving innovative design solutions, and currently he's involved in over 100 projects totaling over 10 million square feet. Wow, right? Creating spaces that not only are epitome of luxury in experience but also functional. He is none other than, like I told you, Niroop Kumar Reddy. Let me add him. Hi.
Yeah, hi. Fine.
Welcome to Bangalore. Thank you for joining. We are very happy to have you and to know a little more about you. Okay. So I hope I'm audible and you're loud and clear, and so I can begin knowing a little more about you.
Yeah, I can hear. You can hear me?
Yes, it's perfect. All right. So not waste any time and let's start. I would
Yeah.
like to know that, what were your early years like, before being an architect? Can you tell me a little more about the house you grew up in? Did it have any influences in your design life, or, what more?
Thank you, Hina, and good
Himani.
evening, everyone. Yeah. Sorry, Himani. Good evening, everyone. And my initial days, like basically, I'm from a political family, so we didn't have anyone. I mean, not many professionals. Only my dad was a doctor. Then eventually, he also was forced to join the politics. So I was then. I was brought up, I mean, I was always in the boarding school from my childhood because to be away from politics. So basically, my dad didn't want me to come into the politics or didn't want me to join. So,
Right.
but I never had this kind of like architectural. See, when I think I passed out in 99
Okay.
from University of Chennai. So that time, I think the architecture, and not many architects from India, or it was like people used to call, it was like more engineer than an architect. So,
Right.
and it
Right.
was the starting time. So we were in the right time probably. And all this started when, but in my schooling days, I always used to sketch my own. See, in school, we had this habit of sending greetings. That time we didn't have, Facebook or
Yeah.
emails and all. So we had this habit of sending. So we were forced also. It is like we were made to do this, and it became a habit later. So for most of the major festivals like Diwali, Dasara, and then Pongal and all this New Year, so we were
Yeah.
supposed to send greetings to our near and dear ones.
Right.
So started. So that time it is like we used to buy. So when initially I used to buy it from the school library, and then I started sketching my own
In,
uh,
okay.
uh, pads and like depends. Suppose I'm saying to my parents something regarding them, or it was something else, some other person. I used to do related to their life, and how we are related and how it depends on the thing. And then that was the only sketching ability I had, and I was never. I mean, I was always like I want to become an engineer because I was good at maths. So that time maths means okay, it's all about computer science engineer and all that.
Yeah.
So when I passed out my plus two, grade 12, then we had like, so I had maths and all. So eventually I have to be an engineer or something else, which is related to maths, physics, and chemistry.
Yeah.
So then I got free seat like without paying any seat in Gulbarga, Karnataka with my online this test and all. But my dad didn't want me to join into computer science. Like so, all those days was like I was only son for my father. So it was like so if I study computer science or electronics, I would travel to US for a job and settle there, and I will not come back. So
Yeah.
he wanted me to be here, and he said, "No, I will not join you in computer science. You decide on something else what you want to do." So by then, even the aptitude tests and all for architecture was finished.
Okay.
So the only option other than computers or engineering was like architecture or move on to something like other, which I was not inclined to. So then we found through some known, so there's a course like 5 years, like an architecture course. So why can't you join? You're good at sketching. And my dad said, yeah, my son is very good at sketching, so let me join. So it was all his decision. It was nothing from my side actually.
Okay.
Even when I was joining, the special officer in the college was telling, sir, engineering is 4 years, architecture is 5 years. Are you really interested? Because engineering first year it's common to all of them. Even second year you can still take a call. But
Yeah.
architecture from day one, just take a call whether he's interested or not, and but knew that time.
Yeah.
So he asked me, I said, fine, because end of the day I wanted to do something, and so that way I started architecture. So initial college days, it was okay, but only when I went to my practical training in Delhi. So we used to have training in seventh semester that time. I think nowadays most of the kids have it in the last semester,
The
but we
last
had
class.
yeah,
Yeah.
we had in the seventh semester those days. So only when I went for my practical training, all started. So being being like serious, like to know architecture, to know in detail. Okay, what is architecture? Like what? Okay, being an architect, what we can do, and what was it all about, and all. Okay, always first two because seventh semester is is like first semester in the fourth year.
Yeah.
Too young still. Okay, normally we study. You still have fun, and college is all about. So and especially architecture, like all we just have three classes, and then it was only design after the lunch.
Yeah.
So it's always used to be very casual between the teachers, and there was nothing much. So from there it started, Himani. That's what before.
Interesting. Okay. So, out of all these things, something that interested me was the art that you started doing when you started making those cards yourself, right? So that's
Yeah.
when you kind of developed a little sense of concept and art and sketching and all that. But, I want to know, like, this was just because you did it yourself and you probably thought that I should do it. But when was the actual time when you felt that, okay, I really love design?
I think once I started my practical training in Delhi,
Right.
that's where seriously I came to the real design. Till then, it was like assignments, and you do projects every year. Like first year you do this, second year you do school, you do. So it's common practice for all the art. So when I started my practical training in the seventh semester, like when they asked us to design, and when we were also sent to sites.
Yeah.
So then I actually I did it in Delhi. So I opted to do in Delhi. So then I started. Okay, like I found interesting. So till then it was like a part of my life. I mean, it's not like okay, I'm studying. That's it. It's nothing with passion and all that. But
Yeah.
I started this training and all. I was very serious, and first 2 3 days was very tough. So I had to face the architects like even twice. the drawings were thrown on my face like this. So what are you doing?
I think everybody has felt this. I think you've not completed your architecture education or
Yeah.
your training till the time a sheet is not thrown on your face.
So like it was very serious. First week was in Delhi was it like I never faced all this situation because I was a golden spoon boy from my childhood. So suddenly someone, so this is all new to me. And then I said, okay, what is it happening? Then I used to think and sometimes I used to feel very bad. What is this? Okay, I
Yeah.
just want to do architecture. Sometimes I used to feel no, there's something. Okay, why did he do like this? So something I'm not right maybe. So I just started analyzing myself and slowly, yeah. Then I got into the groove, and then okay, this is the real architecture. It's just not that what you study. The real architecture is something completely very different from. Okay, the basics you learn, but when you come to practice, it's only the basics which help you. Other than that, it's all different. So you need to manage your own things. You need to the starting days. You need to admin yourself. You're the admin manager. You're the secretary. You're everything for your firm when you start a firm.
Yeah.
So you need to know how to deal a client, how to close on the financials, how to design, how to give him a good house, how to execute it. It's all new. So all this I learned in Delhi. Actually, it is one of the uh, uh, good moments in my life where, I mean, being a successful architect today, I can claim that Delhi tenure of, it was only for 3 months, but I stayed for 6 months.
Wow.
So
Okay.
only 90 working days. So basically it comes up to 4 months or little lesser than, but I stayed the full 6 months. And I realized, okay, then it was like interest. I developed my interest and passion towards the subject.
Right. I understand. And that's when you find your real passion, and that's when you go for it and, probably become what you are right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, were there any particular influences when it comes to certain people in your career that kind of developed your design philosophy, or certain things that happened that, probably you worked in a certain setup? It's like some people work in, let's say, a commercial firm which only does commercial projects, and then they kind of develop that sense of concept that they like doing such projects. So, was it done for you? What was your design philosophy, and how did it develop?
See, basically today we are very strong in residential sectors. So we are very strong in residential architecture and residential interiors. So apart from these, now we are doing even commercial building. We are doing other. We're doing some hospitals. We're doing some colleges. So this is next thing. But we started well with residential sector.
Right.
So we do both architecture and interior. So yeah, it was not something influenced. I think I passed out in '99, and 1 year I worked in Hyderabad,
Right.
the firm, and then even in that firm I had questions like, "Are you go? How long? I know you're not going to work more than a year with me, so I will not give you good projects. So the I know you'll start on your own." I don't know. I mean, he felt maybe I'm like that because I never gave a feeling like that.
Yeah.
So it was like the architect told the chief architect, I mean, who interviewed me, he told, I know you're not going to stay more than 1 year, so don't expect any good works from us. So you just get the experience of the office. I said, fine, whatever, no problem. So I joined. So it was about 1 year, and then I got married, and then I started my own firm.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
and in 2001, I started my own firm. So at the age of 25 or something, I started my own firm. And then my first project was, so I went to shop furniture for my home.
Okay.
So I have to set up a new home because my parents were not in Hyderabad; they were in other part of Andhra Pradesh.
Right.
So I had moved because I studied in Chennai, moving to Hyderabad, and then it was all totally different. I mean, I didn't have any exposure in Hyderabad. It was all again new for me. So I'm starting here. So when I had to go for the furniture and all that, I met one good furniture guy those days. So he said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm an architect. I just started." He said, "What projects are you doing?" I said, "I don't have projects as of now. I just got married, so I came here to buy a furniture." So he said, "I have an apartment, one of my friend's apartment. Are you to do?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" So it's my first. So I got my first project like that.
Wow, that's an interesting story.
So whatever I paid for my furniture, I got it there. So
Wow.
so it was there. That was one of the small apartment, like 3 bedroom apartment, where I started doing interior design, and I started there. And then my second project was a very challenging project in a very rich town of Andhra Pradesh,
Right.
where one of the client is making a very big lavish home. See, those days, I mean, talking about 2001, 20,000 square feet home with very lavish home. And it's almost like a first project for me. And he called me and he said, someone told me about you. Can you do this project? I said, yes, I will do that. So that was my first break.
Right.
And his cousin's home was done by one of the Mumbai. I really don't remember some very good Mumbai architect those days. So it's like he told me the day one, this is being done by an architect from Mumbai, and this is my cousin's place. This is my home. I'll give you all the liberty, but it has to be better than that. So and it's my first project almost.
Okay.
So that's where it started. So my first project was a residential apartment, and then my first project, good project, was a residential home. Where from architecture and interiors I have to do.
Right.
So that's where it started, and then slowly after that home, people they like the circle. So a lot of residents started flowing in,
Right.
and
Right.
then I've applied for masters in National University of Singapore.
Okay.
So first year I couldn't get through, and second year again I got an admission.
Wow. Okay.
So by then I was already doing about 10 to 12 projects.
Okay.
So whether I go for a masters or start doing this, then I
And
took a decision like, okay, I skipped my masters, and it was a very good college for me those days. Like it would have been a very good exposure, but it was all I had 12 to 13 projects, very good projects.
yeah.
So I thought, okay, let me continue. So
Right.
that was the way I started first into residential, and then first 5 6 years we did more of residential, and we did a lot of corporate interiors also, turnkey based,
Okay. Okay. All
to
right.
just be in the market, because turnkey will give you. But and then I realized after 2 it's not my kind of job, because always turnkey is turnkey,
Right.
architect. So that respect completely is different.
Right.
At least now it has changed a little bit, but those days turnkey was like a contractor. So, but I always we wanted to command respect. So wherever you are, so then I skipped it after 2 years and then started doing only consulting.
Right. Okay. All right. So, like you were telling me about, getting married and then buying furniture for your house. It's probably one of my favorite projects, which is the NR home that you like to call it.
Hmm.
Right. So I want to know a little more about that as well. That, there is a sense of, play with eco-friendly materials and, greenery, and there is this 20 feet facade, it's exuberant, right? So I want to know a little more about that, and I also want to know about your wife. How has she played a role in NA Architects, and what is her philosophy and her contribution in that house, and your contribution in terms of design in that house?
Yeah. Let me talk her influence on the firm also
Yeah.
before I go to her house. So she joined me only after.
Right.
So we had 2 kids, and immediately after that, when they were little old, then she joined my firm.
Okay.
So always like we were never in two different kinds of like this is your project, this is my project. We always used to fight on the project. We all see it's for betterment of the project,
Right.
and even sometimes we both you will talk to your clients. So it's not like each one takes a different project and we do. It's always like a firm. We always till today also we do in the same way. The major support is now I've expanded to Dubai. I had offices in Myanmar also. Now I don't have, but we're
Yeah.
doing a lot of projects outside India. So all these and travel as part and no part of architect. You have a lot of travel.
Yeah.
I'm able to do this all because she is there at office. See, normally in my profession, I believe someone responsible should be there in the office.
Yeah.
So whatever senior architects you have, whatever manager level architects you have to have someone who is like thinking, okay, this is my own office.
Yeah.
So with her, like she's always in and around the office. So that's a big strength for me, so that I can move around, meet employees, move around, maybe open another office somewhere. I don't know. So that is one strength. Okay, when it comes to NR House, before this we owned about 233 homes, but all were apartments. So
Yeah.
this is the first time we made our own home. In my childhood, we used to have a very big home in my dad's and my. So then in city we wanted to make, but thing was like when we started this home, we wanted to do something different, which Hyderabad normally does, and even what we have not practiced.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do what we were doing for clients. I mean, we want to try something new, I mean, something little thing. And always, most of my homes are daily. So we like natural light and then greenery part of the home.
Right.
We love designing, even if it's in high-rise building. Also, we try to give here and there little greenery. So I love greenery and natural light into the room, so that it's a very positive feel you have in any part, any home. It can be an apartment. It can be a home. See, here the first thing was okay. Being an architect and traditional in the family and Hyderabad, a lot of Vastu issue is there. Okay, I don't believe that is not the case. Because I'm into this profession, I have to believe. Because otherwise, suppose I make a home, people come to see the home. Okay, architect's home, or someone wants to give me a project. He says, "Oh, we want to see a home." So when they come, I don't want them to say this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. This is because that's like I definitely don't believe, but still there is that each of things. So we want to make it as well Vastu, but again do something very different. See, Vastu means a box. So literally it is a box, but still we have to do something. That's not my personal case. My this was very different, but now I was forced to do because okay, being in this society, being in this profession, I'm forced that if I was something else, I would have never made a home for one.
Right.
So,
It's your showcase basically to your profession, right?
yeah. Then okay, making the Vastu, I cannot really play around much with the plan. I mean, much with the levels or the shapes or basically architecture is form and shape. So
Yeah.
when I'm restricted not doing that, then what I have to do? I have to do something better to show my clients. Okay, even in Vastu you can. So then we started evolving like son's room is a double height within his room. Then the main door is 20 feet. I have not seen a door. Right? Maybe there are doors with 20 feet height in a basement, but I have not seen them. So we've done a single door with 20 feet, and then we have different large windows, and then all the ceilings are concrete with embedded designs. So mostly, I think it's first in Hyderabad. I'm not sure, but a lot of people have done concrete ceilings, but not with designs already embedded.
Right.
And then the basic thing was to make a green home because I am an IGBC accredited professional. And to make a green home, that was our motto from the day one. So we got registered. And the second thing is why concrete homes cannot be luxurious. See, everywhere I see concrete homes being very rustic. So why can't concrete homes and green homes be luxurious? That was our thing for this. So and then like we started using, with concrete, okay, let's use marble. Let's not use some rustic floor. Let's use marble. Let's use brass and make it sink, it should. So that's what is NR House all about. So that from there it started.
Right.
And most of the 20 feet door decision was made by Rupna only. She said we want a bigger door.
Yeah.
So it was, she said she wanted, and even both the glasses next to the door are again 20 feet, single glass.
Yeah.
So some of the things like this, and then we have this concrete ceilings embed. That was our idea. So, and then majority of the furniture was because I travel a lot. Furniture I picked up. I mean, she didn't much involve into the furniture. So it was basically like, okay, she wanted this. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I want this. Let's do it. There was nothing much.
Yeah. There's no tiff in between that, no, you want
No,
this.
small tips on finalization or late delay and all that, but nothing on the design.
Yeah, yeah, right.
We were
Great.
very clear about, okay, she wants something, okay, let me do it. End of the day, it is for the interest of the project, and both of us are going to live there. So it's
Yeah,
like somewhere it has to be in our taste also.
right, right, right.
It
It has.
turned out to be a new thing what we have not done before. See, I was known for more luxurious white interior,
Yeah,
and then so this was like more rustic with again uh, uh, with brass luxury. So that's
right.
basically a complete different thing, and we tried it, and eventually it has turned out very nice. I mean, okay, being my home, I'm not telling, but it has really come out nice, and a lot of people have
Yeah, I
appreciated. And
it's a different definition of luxury. It
yeah,
doesn't have that concept which everybody follows of luxury, right? So I agree. Okay, so since we are talking about houses and we are talking about your house, I want to know from you as an architect, what are the components of a beautiful home?
for me is first your living style. I mean, see, each family has a different living style. So make your plans as per your own convenience. So don't compromise for the sake of something else. Maybe facade will not come or ye nahi aata. See, just so first make what you want. Like, okay, this is comfortable to me. This room has to be here. This room has to be here. This has to be bigger, smaller. I would believe in those. Even with my clients, I say the same thing.
Yeah,
And the second thing is, homes always have good light, good ventilation, have nature as part of your thing. And the second thing is, most important is like, see, again, it depends on client, but homes, when it home, I always give scope to my clients to express their feelings.
right.
End of the day, they're going to live there. So even if I tell them, no, this, I want to do this, I want to do some, most of the time they allow me. But when they leave there, I don't want them to curse me on, every day.
Yeah,
So this is not nice. This is not. So normally I take their feedbacks. Each architect is a different style. This is my style of dealing. So I give them, but design is mine. But I give them that kind of where they express all their things, what they feel comfortable, what.
right,
So I feel end of the day when the home is made, I look at output, and I look at the things how they have turned out, and I take the feedback from the client. How is he? Like, how is he? He's also happy, like, because he's going to leave there. End of the day,
right.
I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to take another job. But
Yeah,
we always take the client's feedback, like, is everything okay? Even after 2 3 months, we call them and ask, is everything okay? And so are you feeling comfortable? 99% always is yes.
yeah, yeah.
Never had this thing like we are not happy or we're not comfortable. My motto is that, for a perfect home,
Right.
or it can be anything. It can be interior design, it can be architecture, interior design, anything.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, so is there any specific architect or interior designer that kind of influences your work habits?
Not really, Himani, but we do appreciate all good work. There are a lot of good architects and interior designers.
Yeah,
Some of them are designers, so we appreciate everyone. I mean, it's nothing, but we really don't. For me, it's like uh, we have to try something new. See, I experiment a lot with new materials.
right.
So that's what I believe in. See, I believe interiors is all about how you use your trends, new materials, and you have to use it very boldly.
Hmm.
So then only you can be the one, you can be the first one to use them. Otherwise, you have to wait for someone to use them, and then you cannot consider yourself creative.
Right, right,
Always be first to use the materials and first the things. And when it comes to again architecture, okay, it depends on the trends we take on and all, but nothing in particular, not anyone, but couple of them, like a lot of them we just follow, and some of them are good work.
right, right. Okay, so since we are talking about material and let's showcase a couple of your projects where specifically that you have used wood and wooden flooring, and let's know a little more about you on those project ends.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start with this one. Can you just tell me a little more about this project?
Yeah, this is one of the projects we have done by Cubicle House. So here the wooden flooring is a printed one.
Right.
So that's the latest trend. When it's a hardwood. Sorry,
Right.
it's an engineered wood with printed motifs on it. So we have used this for a purpose because the overall room is more subtle. So we wanted to make it little bright. And again, we want to have a difference of flooring because it's in two levels. The bedroom is in two levels. The first part is in marble. The
Right.
second one, we want to use wooden flooring. At the same time, have some color in the room. So we chose flooring to be colorful here.
Right. Right. Is there a specific type of wooden flooring that is your favorite, or you kind of interplay depending on the kind of project?
No, I normally use wooden floorings like a design element. See, I don't
Okay.
use it like a flooring.
Right.
So my way of using design wooden flooring is I use it more of a design element. So I choose wooden floorings which add as an like a design element. So maybe wooden floorings with design, wooden floorings with motifs, wooden floorings with a different texture.
Right.
So I always use them as a design element. Yeah.
Right. Right. Let's move on to the next one. This one.
This one, next picture you can go, Himana.
Okay. All right. This is
Yeah, this is again. So this is again a deck in a terrace. So it's only just for the evening get-togethers for the client.
right.
So here
Right.
we have used the exterior grade wooden flooring, deck flooring, and ceiling is again the wooden panels, teakwood wooden panels.
Right, right. So I mean, since we are talking about wooden panels and wooden flooring, I want to know that, as architects, do they really prefer to use, wooden on probably the walls and the ceilings as well? Because a lot of people have this, thing that, they cannot use wooden flooring and wooden material on, ceilings and walls. So, if you can break that myth for them.
No, we have used it in a lot of projects. Not from, I remember, I think 10 years back we have started using them.
Right, right,
Like we have used them as a floor, wall, and ceiling.
right, right.
So we have used this about 9 years back. So we always, I mean, say anything which can be an added thing and a new design element.
Right.
So it can be used. There's nothing because it's a interlocking system. So there is nothing which will have an issue. You can always use them.
Right, right. Okay, I'll move on to this.
Yeah, this again, so like we selected 2, 3 colors and then made it like interlay thing.
Right,
So actually, the 3 colors of wooden flooring, a small kind of thing that we made it a design like this. So that's
right,
what I said. If you see in this room, so the statement is the flooring there. The rest
right,
everything is very subtle. So that's what I said. We use them more like a design thing, like more.
right,
We don't
right.
use it as
Maybe
a floor,
material,
but we
but
use it design. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I'll move on to this one.
Yeah. This again is now exterior deck flooring, which you have used. This is already it's like thermal pine. It's already treated wood,
Right,
and then uh, yeah, this comes in the planks of like um, 6 inches by almost 8 feet.
right, right,
We have used it for exterior deck.
right. Okay, this is the last one.
Yeah. This is again, this is one of this is plain textured wooden flooring.
Right,
So here we just use it to add that color in the room because if you see other things, they're
yeah,
all white garden. So I wanted some kind of a color which will fill in the room. So
right,
I've used wooden flooring here to just fill the room.
right, right. Interesting. Okay, all right. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
I have a couple of more interesting questions for you. So
Hmm.
let's move on to that. I want to know from you that what is the favorite part of your job and the least favorite?
I really enjoying doing concepts. I mean, I really enjoying doing new things, new concepts. Um, that's my passion, and I love to do something very new. I mean, it can be architecture or interiors. My focus and my thing is doing concepts. So I love doing it. That's my forte.
Right, right. And the least favorite?
My least favorite is when a lot of times when staff and my architects come to me for like small details and all that, I feel that after being all this again, I have to every day explain these small things also. Sometimes in the sites, sometimes I feel, okay, what, this kind of workmanship, or when it comes to workmanship, those things I don't like. Otherwise, I enjoy being like in the sites and trying to, because you see what you have done. I mean, whatever you have designed, you see it getting executed, so you feel good, and so you always have a scope of improvement. When you visit the sites and all.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. I mean, when it comes to minute details and small details, I feel okay. I think okay, after 15, 20 years, still I have to do this. So
right, right.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So, tell me about the best moment in your career, so far.
See, the best moment is always like, okay, when you make your home and people talk, I mean, it's very good home and it's one of the best moments. But to tell you an early career of my life in 2004, my one of the best projects was then residence and office for official residence and office for Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh.
Right. Okay.
So that was my dream. I mean, I just started in 2001 and 2002, my office.
Yeah.
And 2004 was this project. So, because being politically connected, you always know what is coming, but still you cannot ask people because like we have that kind of. So I really wanted to do that project, and I tried a couple of things with my cousin, my father, so nothing happened. So but I wanted to do that twice. But okay, I, I thought okay, I tried my level best, but I couldn't get it. So
Right.
then one day I was just chilling out with my friends, and then I get a call from whatever the department saying, can you work on this project?
Yeah.
So it was like, uh, I thought the project is gone, but suddenly I get a call, from nowhere saying, can you do this? That too from a very normal person saying, can you do this project? We
Yeah.
want you to do this. So and it was a big milestone for me because at the age of 25, 26, I was dealing with all IAS officers and all big bureaucrats and with this chief minister directly. And it's like in initial days, first 2 years, you had a good break. And that too, the project was, I wanted to do it, but I felt I lost it. But again, I got it back. So that was the best moment when I completed that. And it was a challenge for me to get completed this project in 6 months
Yeah.
from execution, from foundation to interior design. We were just given 6 months, and
Wow.
NCC was the contractor that time. So we did it, and once we finished, when Chief Minister came and gave me, he called everyone and told, "Look at this boy; he has completed time. I never." So because in first 2 3 meetings when I went, he used to ask me, "Who is your boss?" I said, "No, boss. I'm only,
Okay.
I'm the principal architect, so I'm doing it." Said, "No, no, you are lying." I said, "No, sir, I'm not." So you're doing all this? I said, "Yes, sir." So then he liked, and then he gave me, a lot of other buildings like part of Secretariat, and then some of his. So this was the best moment of my life because that's where from all started. So that's where people started knowing who is Nirup Reddy. So
Right.
as an architect, before
Wow.
people know,
That's
but as an architect, people started engaged. So and it was very difficult for me to carry that success because you don't believe projects flowed in. I mean, at that time, 2004, 2005, we always used to have 100 plus projects with us. And it was, to carry that success and come out of it at an engage. I think that's the best moment of my life.
right. Right. Interesting. I mean, I think that's quite a journey,
Yeah.
probably doing one of your dream projects in probably the second or the third year of starting your firm. That's great. I'll quickly say hi to everybody who's joined us and who's here to hear you. And hi, Vivek sir. He's here saying hi to you and me.
Hi, hi.
Vivek Gupta.
Yeah.
And we have everybody else joining in. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so we have another question. That is, I want to know, since you design such beautiful houses, what is your favorite type of architecture? Is it luxury, contemporary, traditional? What kind of houses do you personally like?
I would prefer contemporary and luxury.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Mix of both.
Right, right. Okay. All right. So let's go on to this last question, which is basically an advice that I want you to give young designers starting out today. Since you have such a big span of work, so you
Yeah.
should be able to advise them on how to start or how anything that you would like to, tell them.
So the only thing I could advise young designers is to have patience. Being an architect, you should have a lot of patience. See, overnight you cannot be a star. I mean, this is not a cinema or any other film drama. So you need to have patience. To create good buildings, and always we will get our chance. Being an architect, some part of life will get. So it depends. Few people get it in early stage, few people get it late. But being an architect, first thing, I mean, not only on the opportunity. Your day-to-day life as an architect. So patience plays a major role. This is what I told in a lot of forums. So I think that is the only thing I would tell. If you have patience, being an architect, I think everything will fall in line. Being creative, all this is part of architect. But even having all those, if you're not patient enough, it will it won't be a smooth journey.
Right, right. Thank you. Okay, so like he said, keep your hopes high and have patience, and you will reach where you have to reach. Thank you so much, Architect Niru, for coming and sharing your journey with us. And it was very interesting to have you and to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Himan.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being a part of Parado's initiative to enable a platform for the maestros of architecture. And thank you, everybody who's joined us. Catch us live every Friday, 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Good day. Stay safe.
You too.